student who is working on these. It'll be a reference video for her. So, hang on, I'm getting all tangled up with the headphones. Okay, I'm actually going to take off the headphones because I think sound-wise we're doing okay. I'm hoping. If there is something off with the sound and you're watching, please let me know. All right, but it looks like sound levels they look pretty good. And I'm just going to make sure, quadruple check to make sure I am connected to the correct microphone, which I am. Okay. All right. So my student is plugging along with ghosts, and she's got that first line, so I'm going to run through that second line, and actually I'll just do the whole thing. It's a warm-up for me, but at least to give her a bit of reference, especially once the pedal kicks in. So, and I would encourage her to keep it slow. So this has to be steady though. 3, 4, and then soft. And then play the note first and then put the pedal down. Oh, I missed this note. Then left hand comes on top. Right hand on top. Left hand's here. 3, 4, and then 2 octaves down. It's down there. So the lowest note on the piano. All right. So things that my student will need to watch out for. Basically transitions from one line to the next and just making sure. So I'm going to play bars 3, 4, and 5. Which is the last 2 bars of the first line, and then the first bar of the next line, just to get a firm sense of timing. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now normally if we were singing, we would take a breath, but I forgot. Okay, that was Ghosts, by the way. I should have gone back to Elephant. There was something about Elephant that I wanted my student to hear. And Zoom only does, oh yes, clap. I actually wrote a note to clap on the video. Okay, so she's still counting it in 6 beats. Eventually, it'll be in 2 sets of triplets, but she's going to count the 6/8. So I'm just going to have, actually, let's do it this way. So instead of clapping, I'm going to just point and be the karaoke ball. So I'm just going to do this with the first couple of lines because that's what she's focusing on. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And next line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. And then just to give her a frame of reference, I'll run through that as a warm-up. So she'll be pretty much doing it hands separately for a while, but to save time, I'm going to do it hands together. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I missed that skip. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So regardless of level, it's really good to count the beats out loud to start, or, softly to yourself, just to keep it steady, just to hear if you are steady or not. There was one more that I needed to go through for my student. Oh yes, here comes a Bluebird. It's her new song. So one good thing to do is to, oh dear, someone's car alarm. One good thing to do with a new song is just clap it through. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's the beginning. She's probably just going to focus on that much for now. But I will clap a little further just in case she has time and it's going well. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm actually just going to write a reminder to myself to have my student clap it for me next time as a warm-up. Okay, and then left hand, she should have a much easier time because it's just 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now my advice to my student is before putting it all hands together at the keyboard, maybe just tap it and maybe go 2 bars at a time. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And even just sit there and go both, right, right, both, 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 right, right, both, both, or ta, ti, ti, ta, 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 ti, ti, ta, ta. Now, today's theme is fingering. So yes, she's going to have to take a look at the fingering, especially in the first 4 bars. Because she shifts, she will start with finger 3 on F, but by the time she gets to the second line, it moves. And there's a reason. Let's see if we can figure that out. Oh, yes. So there is 2 E's. So E at the end of bar 2, and then E at the beginning of bar 3. So that finger change, usually with a lot of repeated notes, we'll do that just so that the one finger doesn't tire. I mean, this is okay, but we could change that around. But we are moving to a strong beat, so that finger switch enables you to channel all your weight because it's centered on finger 3, your hand. Well, I mean, 3 is the middle finger, so it's got, the weight is really centered all the way down the arm to the finger. So that way you can make that nice and strong. And I think that's probably enough to help my student. So I'm going to move on. All right. So my next student is working on Sneaky Sam. He's made it to the end. It's a little wobbly, so that's why I'm gonna just go through it a little bit. Oh, yes, because we took a look at the last line for the very first time. He's totally rocking page 1. He's already got it at that first, the goal speed. So the only thing that's really quite different is the ending there. So, but if you take a look at it, the last 4 bars, there's a pattern, and it's pretty much easier to just play it by like rote, because it's just D, A, D, A, D, A, D, A, and then D, and then back down to. I guess I was gonna say it doesn't say how loud it's supposed to be. You got a crescendo there. Could play around with that. It would sound just as fine soft as it would loud. So. 2, 3, 4. Because soft is quite cool too. I'm thinking, Pink Panther. All right, that's pretty much all my student needed to hear as a reference. He's, like I said, he's got a pretty good handle on the rest of the piece. We just looked at the very end today. So, just to give him that extra reference. Okay. Who next? We're moving on to higher stuff now. Okay, well. Zelda. Hyrule Castle. Okay, so he's starting to plug along to the next section. He's got a pretty good handle on the first section. So I'm just going to run through the B section, just so he's got that frame of reference. And maybe I'll run through the beginning of C just for me, just to get used to, just to get refamiliarized with the triplets. So I'm just going to put the overhead camera up. Now, fingering. I'm just trying to think, since the theme is fingering and technique. Well, we'll see if there's any fingering insights that pop into my mind. So we got 1, 2. Oh, yeah, you don't want your thumb there for sure. If anything, you could put the thumb on the D so that 2 can be on the C sharp. See, I haven't thought too hard about fingering on this, so. Might have to do that. I don't know. So, has to be something easy to get finger 2 there. I think we have no choice but to put the... Oh, okay, no. If we take a look at the A section, the fingering is given there as a guide. So finger 3 is going to be on the C sharp. The first bar is going to be, 1, 5, 4, 1. Okay, and then next bar, 1 and 2 there. Okay. That'll do. Oh, and then 3, 1. Okay. So, pro tip, if they give you the fingering for a section and that section repeats, or that theme repeats further on, use the identical fingering. Don't muck around with coming up with alternate fingering, because that's going to mess you up when you come to memorize it and work on speed. So, B section. There should be 3 and 5 if I'm going to use the same fingering. So. Oh yeah, that works much better. should be an A natural. That should be, yeah. Oh, yeah, that should be. Okay, so hang on. We've got those. Okay, so we got 1 and 2 triplet. Okay, so that I'm going to have to review, but I think if we count that in 2 half notes, it'll be much easier to nail. So this is a transition from the B section to the C section. Oh, yeah, so for those who have the Legend of Zelda Easy Piano series book, this is the... Oh, I think I have the composer wrong on this one. Oops, it's not Koji Kondo. My apologies, let me fix that. That is not Koji Kondo, I just assumed. It is actually Toru Minegishi. Toru. I wonder if it's really... I bet it's that. It just got translated incorrectly. Toru Minegishi. Okay. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to take that transition. So 1, 1, and 2, and 1, and 2 trip. No. 1, and 2, and 1, and 2 triplet. 1, and 2, and 1, and 2 triplet. 1, and 2, 3. Oh, 1, and 2, and 1, and 2, and... Yeah, that I'm going to have to review, because I'm not 100% convinced that I'm getting that rhythm. A lot of times for these songs, it's probably, it is good to just listen to a recording of it, because sometimes these rhythms are really, really tricky. Okay, I'm going to move on to, Minuet and G. Okay, so my student who's working on this has made it to the end. Or not quite. Not quite. Okay, the articulation is happening. Oh, yes. I'm going to show him a couple of things. So if you're having challenges with playing something steady, one thing to do is get the metronome on and play every second bar. And the metronome, like, trade ones. Or, in this case, I'm going to trade twos. Because minuets are a 6-beat pattern. So it would sound a lot more complete if you would play it in 2-bar sections. So I am just going to pop that metronome on. I just can't decide on speed. So I'm gonna try 72 just for fun. And I'm just gonna do a quick mid-sound check here, which means putting the headphones back on, which isn't, it's nice to not have the headphones on. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I'm going to play 2 bars and then let the metronome take 2 bars, and we're going to alternate. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So that was fairly easy. Now I'm going to switch. But if that is hard for anyone who's trying to do this, I recommend slowing down that metronome slower than 72. Okay, metronome's going to take the first 2 bars, and then I'm going to take the next 2 bars. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to do is just every other bar. Just really tighten up and the timing. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then in an ideal world, in a ideal practice situation, you'll flip-flop. So now I'm going to put that all together, and if you are working on this piece and you've tried this drill, you'll notice an improvement. Okay, now since this week's theme is fingering, I'm going to get to, because I have not explained this to my student yet, as to why the fingering is what it is. So that can happen. We could also play around with other ornaments, but there's quite a few editions that have this, this fingering. And again, repeated pattern. So use the same fingering. Okay, you're supposed to be working on this section. So I'm just going to quickly run through the second half. Oh, maybe finger 1 there. I missed that. Oh, I should not have changed that fingering. Oh, brain is not working right now. Oh, that is a typo. He and I did not discuss that. That should be an F sharp. Okay, I will need to bring that up. This is, for any who are curious, this is from the Petrucci Public Domain Library. So it's by Mootopia, the Mootopia project. So if you are working on this edition, so bar 29, that F natural really should be an F sharp. So it's good to compare other editions. Okay, so yeah, I did want to really go through all the fingering there. And then next up, morning prayer. So this one, yeah, my student needs to work on trying to get the pedal in. So I'll just do a quick run through of this opening section with the pedal. I'm just debating what the other camera should be. Probably, yeah, I'll just keep it as the overhead. So overhead, and then switching. Oh, we'll go with this view and switch cameras to the pedal cam. Okay. Okay, there, pedal cam is up. So For those of you joining in, thanks for popping in. This is a series where you hang out with me while I'm practicing some of my stuff and some of my student stuff. And I share practice tips along the way. Okay, so student needs to work on the pedaling, so I recommended that he work on left hand. Gives him a chance to really work on these two-note slurs too. Trying to get that. Could actually get off the pedal on that. So I'm going to add the pedal there so he can have that for reference. Actually, I'm going to start softer because it's his piano. Missing a... I don't know why I'm tossing in a C sharp. My fingering wasn't the exact same as there, so let's see. I guess that could work. Main thing is you keep that smooth. And then lift and get that too. So that fingering is done in a way that you can play that all smooth. I think that's as far as my student's gotten, so we'll leave that be. Hopefully that gives him enough of a guide. I'm just going to switch cameras again. Okay. Oh, I did not put the... No, that was the previous piece. That is this piece. Okay. So moving along. Oh, yes. Okay. So next, student's piece. So fingering. The theme is fingering and technique. So I'm just trying to think about that as I run through. Oops. The foamy bit, the sock for the microphone fell off. Well, while I'm at it, I'm just going to grab the headphones for a sec. All right. So that gives me a chance to double check the microphone now that I've readjusted. Okay, so fingering. So there's very little given, actually. Not much given for fingering. But what should be the overall ruling factor here is that you want to be able to play legato. So you have to finger it in a way. So you absolutely don't want to do something like 5-5, 5-4, 5-5, or 3-3-3. Just doesn't work. So I'm just trying to think. Well, we were working mostly on the middle of the piece, so I'll just run through that. So actually more just the second half, because she's got a pretty good handle of the piece until bar 12. So I'll start at bar 13. That's what I'll do. And fingering. So fingering's the theme. See if I can share any interesting insights on fingering for this. Bar 13. Oh, we've got like lots of... So that leap there, you don't really have to worry about legato fingering because there's just no way. But here, you want that smooth. And then you can lift and reset here in a way to make that smooth. And then lift and reset. Finger that in a way. So I'm looking at what's highest. It's the C, so I'll put my pinky on that. Hang on. Could put finger 2. You could put the thumb, but to keep it legato, just slide down. So hopefully my student, when she checks this out, she'll notice that I'm kind of playing around with launching myself into the expressive notes. And then lifting. And then you can lift and reset your fingering. So pinky on the highest note. That's the same mistake I made when I was recording. And most of the takes I did an A flat when I should have done an A natural. It was really, a bit of a mess. Eventually got there, to the version that is on the channel now. So, okay, so fingering here though. Pretty much do 1-5 comfortably there, and then timing was sucky, sorry. It's the reverse of what we just did. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yep. You'll see, so the second theme for the week is also technique. So pinky, poor pinky, really weak. So what I'm doing to help give that a bit of weight is dropping my whole arm into it and just angling it. So that's a legit technique. All right. Oh, I lost the little banner on that. Sorry about that. I think when I change cameras it tends to disappear. But it's inconsistent. Oh, I should not have gotten rid of that piece of music. That's our CM book. Okay, I'm gonna grab it again. Okay, so my student has made it to the end. She's going to play it at the piano party. I'm just going to run through the ending just to give her, because we did today's lesson in Zoom. So anyone who's done piano lessons in Zoom knows that sometimes sound quality leaves much to be desired. So, and we'll run through bar 101 to the end. And I'll just do it slowly, just so my student can see, especially the fingering and how the hands are lining up. So 1, 2, 1. Okay, so that's for her. For me, as a goal, what I want to do is I want to see how close I can get to the recommended speed. 2, 3, 1, and how long I can keep that for. Because this is on the list to record. in the next week or so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1 da 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 da. Okay, so obviously I'm not ready for 63 yet. Okay, so let me try. Let me grab my phone because I have a way cool app, Metronome Beats Pro. So I'm just gonna figure out what my comfy speed is. So I'm using the tap tempo function, which most of these metronome apps have. Yep. Ba, 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 ba. Okay, so I'm like 52, 53. Okay, so I'm gonna try this again. I'm gonna kill the headphones here. I'll try at 52. Let's see how long I can keep that for. So 1. Oh my goodness. Okay, so 52 is fine. Okay, so next time I practice this, since my goal is to get it up to speed, next time I practice this, I'll try and get further along and see if I can sustain 52 beats per bar for the entire song. And then I'll gradually bring it up to 63. Now they recommend 63 to 69, so I'll have to see what I prefer. 63, 66, 69. We'll see. The main thing is that it sounds lively and steady. All right, so next, last student piece for today. All right, so I have a student. I'll drop the link for this as well as all the other books that my students are using down below. But this is a fun book. Having fun checking this out. So it's the first 50 Disney songs you should play on the piano. It says, simply arranged must-know collection of Disney favorites. It's easy piano. Hal Leonard, of course, they are the leaders of pop music. So really good arrangements. So be our guest. So my student has made it to the end. He has definitely recognized that there's some dissonant notes because there's some like diminished chords and 6 chords. The big challenge I see him having at the moment is the page turn and just trying to get the tempo. So I think we talked about the every other bar drill or switching it to trading twos with jig or minuet. I think it was minuet. But it can definitely be done here with the goal of speeding up. With the goal being speeding up. But the big challenge at the moment is dealing with that page turn. So he's got a few options. he could hang on to the F sharp in the left hand a little bit longer, because it is the end of a phrase. Tie your napkin round the neck, chérie, and we provide the rest. So you can, so I don't know, dealing with accents tonight, I guess. And then flip the page, so I have to memorize the C and the E for soup du jour, da 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 da. Other thing to do is just have that first page kind of like sticking out like that, easy access. One thing I do from accompanying days or collaborative piano days is having that stick out a little bit. Okay, so let me get the overhead camera back up. So I'm just going to practice the tie your napkin round your neck, chérie, and we provide the rest, and practice turning the page on the F sharp. So we got... flip, and then... Because yeah, the last thing you want to do is this. It's not a logical place to pause. We need to hear soup du jour as a unit and follow the punctuation. So the other possibility then for page turn would be jour. Can take a little extra time on that because that's an exclamation mark. So you could do this. So tie your napkin round your neck, chérie, and we provide the rest. Soup du jour. And then, I don't know, I think I like rest better. And then soup du jour can be smoother. So let me just try that again to confirm. So. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, there we go. And I think, yeah, he's totally cool with the rest of the piece. So I really don't need to go through too much. But page turns, especially with pop songs, it's something to figure out. So pro tip, use the punctuation to help you out. You want to turn the pages at the end of a phrase, because you can take a little bit of time there. If you were singing it, you would be taking a breath. So that is, oh, that kind of got moved around. Oops, okay. So that's it for student pieces. Now, it's been a couple of days since I've looked at Les Sauvages. So hopefully a couple of days off will have helped my brain and my hands. It's definitely helped the hands because this is pretty good now. I've been keeping up with the tricep kickbacks and the other tricep tendonitis exercises. The focus the past few days has been on singing because I sang at church on Sunday in the live stream. So I had to get that. Let's see, discovery there. Still got to work on the ear training a little bit more. Okay, so where am I with this? I think I was settling on fingering in the back end. So I think what I'm going to do is start in the... I haven't labeled these. And they're kind of done in... There's like a light double bar line to divide the sections. So I think I'm just going to call them A, B, C, D. So I'm going to start at section D. E is the final return of the main theme. And just get D a little more secure. That'll be the plan. Just trying to think. Just the overhead or do the side? I'm not too sure. Probably just this. Well, maybe we'll do the two views. Okay. Okay, starting at section D. So we're up here. So, oh yes, we're dealing with the inversion of this theme, sort of. Oh yeah, the very chromatic. Oh, so there's this. Or no. Oh, I'm missing a note. Okay, so is okay. I'm gonna just break it down to that phrase. Maybe I'll just go like 4-bar chunks. No. Oh. I think that was my 4 bars, so let's see if I can get that more fluid and committed to the fingering. That seems to be sticking. Okay, so that seems to flow. So finger 4 goes fine there. I think I like that. Okay, water break. Okay. I mean, I know I could toss in a few more ornaments. So I could do that perhaps. It's kind of tough that the ornament is clearly shown in the left hand, so maybe not. Yeah, I think I'm okay with that fingering. Oh, I think I'm gonna go 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. So 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, just so I can get finger 2 on the F sharp. Yeah. Okay. So solidifying fingering. We're getting there. This is 1. See, I should have wrote it down. Like I was doing 4, 3, but just kind of angling my hand. And then 2, 1. Yeah. That's feeling familiar, and that's sounding okay-ish. Okay, I'm going to repeat that and then move forward. And we'll see if I can get that a little more secure fingering-wise. Okay, so here I have not set on fingering. I think is what I was thinking of. We'll see. feel okay with it. That should be 1. One there. So 1 on the tonic would be nice. Hey, fancy that. And then I'm home free with this. No. No, that's going to be this. How to get that, I don't know, smoother? I'll have to play with that. I've got to decide if that's going to be louder or softer. So, me. Either way, contrast. Could do that. Okay, so I'm getting closer to finding fingering that I'm, getting more consistent with, and it seems logical. I should really take the time, and I'll probably do that tomorrow or Wednesday. We'll see, to compare other editions, just to see if there's any other like alternate fingering that would be good to do. Maybe. I'm just going to grab this for the end here. All right, so that just takes us to the end. Boom. That is the wrapping up, yes. Okay, so it was kind of interesting having like fingering and technique be the theme for this week, but as some of my students and I have been discussing, fingering is quite important. So, what can I say other than I'm trying not to say as much. Wednesday, because it's Remembrance Day, I won't do a live stream, but I'll release a pre-recorded video, and since the theme is fingering and technique, that one's going to be probably just mostly technique, like looking at the technical requirements, brief talk on dealing with fingering challenges, but more on trying out different ways to practice it, because I do know it is not popular with students. It wasn't popular with me growing up, for sure. But it is important. I mean, it helps develop our chops to be able to handle really cool pieces. So it is important. And I mean, a lot of these patterns, I mean, they're kind of based on us going through some of those technical. Well, let me backtrack. The technical exercises, because of how they're shaped and fingered, they're done in a way to help, if we get used to the pattern in the keys with the fingering for those chords or scales, then we don't really need to think as hard when we see them in the context of a piece. So, like I said, Wednesday's video will be very technique focused. So check that out. That one will go live, I think. I'm setting it to go live 9 o'clock. So in the meantime, one thing that students, whether or not they're my students or anybody else, one thing I do recommend you start doing is picking out the melody for your national anthem, or if you can find sheet music, learning it, because Wednesday is Remembrance Day. The two times that we are most likely to be asked to play our national anthem, at least in Canada, are Remembrance Day and Canada Day. So, it'll be slightly different depending on what country you are in, but definitely Remembrance Day for sure, and then whatever your national holiday is. So good to have that, good to have it memorized, or at least, practice it enough so that if you're put on the spot and you have the music, you can quickly run through it passably. So Happy Birthday is the other one, and a Christmas song, and a wedding song would be good too, but I'll save that for perhaps another time. That's it for today. So I've got a couple of other things I want to take care of. So I hope that you, if you're catching the replay, have got some useful practice tips, or at least something new to try. And if you find that any of these practice ideas have helped you out, please let me know. Drop it down in the comments. And also, if you have any ideas for future content, so things that I could do a demo on, or something you'd like, my students and I are going to start looking at ensemble pieces. That's going to be interesting with the pandemic. We're probably going to do virtual ensembles. We'll see. I can organize the piano so we could do 2 piano works and be safely distanced. So, got to make it happen. The collaborative music is definitely a fun activity. It's practicing piano alone and performing alone. It can be scary, it can be tiring, it can be lonely. So collaborative music, I find, just takes that to another level. It's fun being able to play and sing with your friends or your family. These days, mostly I'm playing and singing with my brother, so it's nice that we're at a level where we can jam together and play together, and pull out the secondary or the tertiary or the quaternary instruments. I'm just trying to remember. I've lost track of how many instruments both of us play. The nice thing about piano is once you've learned piano, or any instrument really, it is easier to pick up a second instrument, or a third instrument, or a fourth instrument, or a fifth instrument. So you don't need to keep it all to your one instrument. It is neat, and it keeps things fresh when you add the other instruments. The only thing is it also makes it hard to practice them all regularly without a schedule. So if you've checked out Friday's live stream, you'll see that I talked about setting up a schedule, getting good with the schedule for piano and singing to a degree, but the other instruments, I still have to figure that out. So hopefully I'll figure that out and share my ideas with you next time. So till then, thanks again for tuning in. Catch you later. Bye.